Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for part 3 of the Monday Q&A, and I'm going to dedicate this part 3 to specifically questions about the Novice program that I have, which a lot of you are running. So let's jump into those. Alright, first question. On your Novice program, when cutting, after you have dropped the weight by 10%, do you ramp back up, still upping the weight every other workout, or because you can do that weight, you increase it every workout, then every other workout when you get back to your stalling point? Okay, this is where it gets confusing because obviously you guys know that on my normal program, you increase the weight every single time that you do a lift until you fail. However, on the cutting version, because you're not in a surplus, you are not only doing lower volume, but I've cut the progression in half, which means only every other time you do the movement do you increase weight. That applies to your weight resets also, because quite frankly, you still can't progress as fast. You're going to need longer to adapt and possibly super compensate and grow from the previous work. So I still want you ramping it back up slow, which means if you cut it 10%, say you're doing your 200 pounds for your 3x5, you cut it down to 180, it's actually, you're going to have to do that lift again something like 7 or 8 times before you reach the old weight again. Now on the squat, because you're doing it 3 times a week, that's going to be less than 3 weeks. But on some of the other lifts that you're only doing every other session, yeah, it's going to be a little while. But you've got to remember, progress is going to be slow when you're cutting, and it's fine because you're still working inside that threshold. You're still going to be recompositioning off of the slight increases week to week, even with the slower progression, and you just can't expect to progress as quickly when you're in a calorie deficit on such an aggressive program. But don't worry, you're still going to be able to recomposition doing it this way. That 10% cut and even the slow increase after has still kept you inside that range of intensity and workload that you need to be at to stimulate adaptations and muscle growth. So it's okay. All right, next question. What's a good alternative to skull crushers in your Novice program because it gives me elbow tendonitis when I do it even remotely heavy? You told me I could omit skull crushers, but I'm looking for something to supplement that exercise. Okay guys, this is where we get down to individual exercise tolerance. And this person also said they've seen the videos I have on addressing the skull crusher issue. They are doing them the way I say, with elbow extension. And I've also recommended for some people to do them with elbow extension and dumbbells with a pronated grip is the ultimate solution for elbow tendonitis. But if you're still getting elbow tendonitis on top of that, you need to realize that you are one of those people who are simply sensitive to tricep isolation exercises as far as their lower tricep insertions go and as far as inflaming them. So if that exercise doesn't resolve it, then you need to avoid isolation work for your triceps for the most part. And that's okay because the Novice program has such a massive amount of pressing work and pressing volume between the flat bench, the closed grip bench press, and the overhead press that it's unlikely that your triceps aren't going to develop on it because the workload is pretty ridiculous. It's not like you're coming in and only doing 10 sets of presses a week. If you do the math on it, you are doing more than 15 sets of presses, heavy presses, every single week. And some weeks you're doing as many as 21 sets. So your triceps are getting enough stimulation. I wouldn't sweat it if that doesn't work for you. You'll be fine. All right, next question. Realistic weight loss for a non-enhanced individual following the Novice routine when cutting, i.e. calorie deficits, the 3x5 over 10 to 12 weeks. I appreciate this can vary between people and requires dietary discipline, but is 20 pounds of fat a realistic goal? If you are very obese, then that's the only way you're going to lose 20 pounds on this aggressive program in that short of a period of time. And by obese, I don't mean bodybuilding.com or fit obese. Like if you're counting me as obese, this is not going to work. I'm talking if you've got a gut out to here, okay, you're 320 pounds, go ahead and drop 2 pounds a week. If you are under 30% body fat as a male, actually if you're about 25% body fat or less, it's just not going to work. This program is too aggressive, even on the cutting version. I'm going to tell you lose no more than a pound a week. If you are anything under about 16 or 17% body fat, so you're down at the nice healthy level and you're wanting to get leaner because you want abs or something, I'm going to say half a pound a week, because the program is too high workload and it's too aggressive for you to follow this program and cut any faster than that at those body fat percentages. Your body is not going to be able to recover and adapt to it. You will bury yourself. You will burn yourself out, and you will start experiencing problems in your day-to-day life, your ability to work, your ability to do your school work, things like that. It's not going to be workable. 25% or less, a pound a week, and if you're at about 16% or less body fat, half a pound a week tops on this program. All right, guys, so that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.